well, I think those two things were important, but this one, it is really a scenario where it encompasses quite a bit of things, and that is idealism meets realism. Mayor Eric Adams from New York, and I think Jacob's going to be in New York at some point this trip. And in New York City, I don't think he's going to be in New York City, but he might be. I think he will be. Yeah, I think he will be. Eric Adams reverses course. Yes. He says by letting migrants in at the rate of 10,000 per day or per month, 10,000 per month, will destroy the city. This is the same guy who said last year, we welcome all. We are a sanctuary city. So come in, come all. Give us your poor, give us your hungry, give us all those things that the Statue of Liberty says, of course, completely out of context. And this is going to destroy New York, changing course. Other Democrats are saying this is not what we signed up for. David, is this a case where, well, you did ask for it, too late now? Are they having some kind of, crisis in terms of their conscience? Do they really not want this? But when you look back, I guess we can laugh about it, but it is really sad to see this for the people that suffer under it. What is your first take on this Democrats reversing course?
Well, I was waiting for him to break out the guitar and start singing. We don't want to be the sanctuary city, no more blues. So anyway, but, it's typical of Democrats. They say they're all noble and we're going to do all this. But when it comes right down to actually putting their words into action, they're really hypocrites. They didn't want this, and they knew that they're far enough away from the border almost, and it's not going to affect them. So now they're singing the blues, and they've changed course. And Governor Abbott, seems like a genius, having exported his problems elsewhere. But still, Texas, Arizona have gotten killed massively more than what New York has gotten. Right. Although it's interesting that New York got twice as much money recently, $175 million, if my memory is right, for their problem. And Arizona got less than half of that. And they've been under the assault in Arizona for much longer. So everybody's screaming the money blues. And they want more money for handling a problem that could be stopped by enforcing our borders.
Yeah, it is unreal, isn't it? So he says the city's been under pressure, multiple issues from crime to, of course, a $12 billion deficit, and trying to scramble with the influx of it by providing them, with healthcare and clothing and money and hotels. Even Republicans. I didn't know the Republicans were still in New York, but I guess there's some.
There's a few.
Yeah.
Upstate New York.
It's like here, yeah. They're crying that this is what they said it would happen, right? But it's not only because we got to think about this. They've been shipping from the southern border up to New York, but they're also getting incredible amount of Arabs and West Africans coming through Canada into New York. So it is sort of what he said. Well, actually, this is Representative Elise Stefanik. There are 76 different countries represented in the illegal immigration that's coming into New York. So I guess Kathy Hochul's got a big problem. New York's got a big problem. But this is bigger than New York, isn't it?
Yes. Even the Chinese are saying they're exporting or importing into our country Chinese troops ready to go whenever, to cause problems, everything. But between the terrorism and the amount of terrorists that are on the watch list has created a number that the FBI will never be able to track down. And these people can be doing internal damage, as I've said many times here before, death by 1,000 cuts to destroy America.
Right. I'm going to go to Jay real quick. Jay, this is bigger than just the U.S., isn't it? Because it is part of a larger scenario that we see around the world. And one of the ones that are, I guess you could say in the scope of who's causing this, because a lot of people will say, well, what's going on? What's going on in the third world, in these southern countries that is causing this? Open Society founder George Soros and his son Alex Soros, but especially Alex Soros, spoke saying that if we have a conservative president coming into the U.S., this will undermine the progress we've made in terms of our open society. And they're worried about let's say, a certain candidate on the Republican side this coming election, because it would endanger unity, he says. It would endanger unity in what they believe it would be the end of an open society. So sounds like he's double talking and backtracking a lot of things. Can you interpret all of that Alex Soros is saying, and why he's so concerned about a change in the world system?
If Alex Soros is anything like his father, then he has bet against the dollar. And what this means for the long term is anytime you have unrestricted immigration into a country, you need to have services that pop up, like these NGOs, like these government administrations, that basically make their living off of servicing these new immigrants. So understand, it's a bankruptcy from without and from within, because first of all, the NGOs are the ones that are delivering the immigrants, and then the NGO has a handshake with the government, because the government sits there housing, medical, schooling, all of these benefits and all of these other things have to be administered to the disadvantaged, let's call it, at the expense of the nearly 500,000 homeless that are already here on the streets in America.